So we have James and Peter who have cycled along the same 50-kilometre route. James took 2.5 hours to cycle the 50 kilometres. Peter started to cycle 5 minutes later, and he caught up with James when they had both cycled 15 kilometres. And we're told they cycled at constant speeds, and we're asked to work out Peter's speed. Okay. Right, so this is a distance, speed and time question. My favourite way of doing this is to use this little blue triangle here. How do you know where to put speed, distance and time in that? Well, remember that speed in this context is kilometres per hour. And per means divided by, so the speed is distance divided by time. So there's no excuse for not putting those in the right place. Right, to work out Peter's speed, we're going to need the distance. Well, we know that. It's 15 kilometres. And the time he took. Well, we need to work that out via James's information. So let's work out James's speed first of all. So James, and to do that we're going to use the information about 50 kilometres. To work out the speed for James, what do we need? Well, we obviously need his distance and his time, because that is the formula there. Speed is distance over time. We've just talked about that. And, well, let's do that. So the distance he travelled was 50 kilometres, and he did it in 2.5 hours, or 2.5 hours. Now, can you do 50 divided by 2.5 in your head? Of course you can, because 5 over 2.5 is 2, but it's 50, so we've got 20, so that's that extra 0. So his speed was 20 kilometres per hour. Now we actually need to know how long he took to do 15 kilometres. So let's do that. So James, over the first 15 kilometres, his time is equal to, well, how do we find time? We want that one, so we divide distance by speed. Right, okay, so time is distance over speed. We've just calculated his speed, and we know the distance is 15, so it's 15 over 20, which is 3/4 of an hour. We need it in minutes though, because we know about Peter's time in minutes, and so that is 45 minutes, is it not? Okay, so James took 45 minutes to cycle the first 15 kilometres. So Peter took 40 minutes, didn't he? So Peter took 40 minutes to cycle 15 kilometres, and we want to therefore work out his speed. Well, we've done everything in kilometres and hours, so let's just convert that 40 minutes into hours. 40 minutes is 40/60ths of an hour, which is obviously 2/3 of an hour. 4 over 6, 2 over 3 if you cancel that down. And so now, looking at Peter over that first 15 kilometres, we want his speed. So the speed is distance over time again. Okay, as it has been all the way through. And now we can just put in the numbers. The distance is 15 and the time is 2/3. Ooh, how do I divide by a fraction? Well, I don't, of course. What I do is I do the flip and times thing. In other words, I multiply by the fraction upside down. So that's 15 times 3 over 2. Right, I'm multiplying fractions, so I multiply the tops and I multiply the bottoms. The bottom of the first fraction is, of course, 1. And so this is 45 over 2, or put it another way, 22.5. And that's his speed in kilometres per hour. And I think we're done.